Hey folks, welcome back to the Portable Gamer. Welcome back to Farming Simulator 19, and welcome back, really welcome back to Greenwich Valley with Seasons. So, man, as always, I don't know where to begin. Let's start from the map. Let's start from the map, and we'll go from there. So, Greenwich Valley. This map is a mod contest map from several months back. I really like it, and I wanted to play it, but I wanted to wait till Seasons was available, till it was converted to Seasons, I guess is a better way to say it. So we'll get into that momentarily. We start with this farm over here to the west. Now I wanted to start with this farm. I wanted to start with the dairy to the east. Here's the problem. When I try to sell the property that we own, that we have to start with, it's telling me there are objects on it. And those two objects I think are this silo and this house, because it says we own both of those. Now, if we sold those, we would get a little bit of money for them, and then we could sell this land. But my concern is, because of the placeable system, that there would be a hole right here, and we would never be able to neatly get anything back into it, so that this farm would forever be scarred. We could either leave this area empty, or we could just, I don't know, try to shoehorn something in there and have it look like ass. So we will start on the west side of the map with some arable crops. And this is more or less the fleet we had last time we were playing this map several months back. We've got our T-Dub at 150 horsepower. We've got our 70 series Ford/New Holland/Fiat at 240 horsepower. And then we've got one of my favorite tractors, the JCB Fast Track at 280. It's a little big. All three probably a little big, but there's some big fields on this farm. So, seasons. Man, I know I sound like I'm all over the map. Give me a minute. We'll bring it together and it'll all make sense. We're going to do 6-day seasons on this map versus the 9-day seasons we're doing on Gazelsberg. And when we look at, where is it? Oh, we were there already. When we look at what we can plant, I do want to get the dairy open, so we need to plant either wheat, barley, or oat so we can get some straw going. And we can plant any one of those today. And I believe if we can bring this back up, yeah, we're okay on temperature. I think we're safe from frost. So now when we go back here, oh man, I'm bouncing all over the place. When we go back here, these fields should be harvested. Do they need plowed? Plowed, I say. They do need plowed. Do they need lime? They do need lime. Okay, cool. So we can, oh man, as always, where to begin? Back here, if we go to our fleet, we do have a subsoiler, 150 horsepower, requires 140, so I think we'll be good with the T-Dub. I think. No, actually we won't, because that'll be overpowered, and we're going to need to spread lime, which we'll do with a little spreader, and a spreader I think is going to make more sense on the T-Dub than on this great big JCB. Right. So let's go over here first and get this going. Right, so what are we doing back on this map? This is a mod contest map, and then you remember right after the mod contest, Seasons was released. And I really wanted to play this map with Seasons. I thought the conversion would happen in a few weeks. Right after Seasons came out, I did see an unauthorized conversion of this map. I didn't think it looked great, and I also feel that's sort of disrespectful to the map maker. So I did play it in private just a little bit. I'll be real with you, but there's no way I would bring that to the channel. So I waited. I thought it would be a couple weeks. It turned out to be a few months, but here it is, and this is legit from the map maker, and it's something we can trust, and it's good to go. So I didn't think I was going to do 2 seasons maps because we have Gazelsberg going with Seasons. I thought we were going to do maybe one without, but I've been waiting to play this map with Seasons, and I think we can make it work. And we're on 6-day seasons instead of 9, and we're not going to be doing grass work, at least not for the foreseeable future. And I think because this is... yeah, I think we may be able to just put this on a dumb worker. We may not, but we'll try. If not, we'll put it on course play. Let's go to, we've got more field on that side, so let's go that way, and let's see if this works. It certainly does. Beautiful. We'll slow this down a little bit so we get a nice realistic speed. So there is that. Beautiful. So Courseplay, and man, I'm bouncing all over. I do apologize. Courseplay and this 70 series tractor do not work well together, and I'll tell you, I think, why not. It has very, very slow steering. It's very realistic. It takes forever to crank the front wheels from one side to the other. It's very realistic. It makes it fun to drive, but I feel like Courseplay is not conditioned to pause and wait for it. So Courseplay has it making its turn and continuing on, and it has not turned the wheels fully yet. So it just goes crazy when you put it on Courseplay. Right, as far as equipment, very similar to what we had last time we started this map. You saw the 3 tractors that we have. You saw the little, is it Vaderstad? Pottinger. You saw our little cultivator there. I did swap out, we had the Pottinger seeder from the mod contest. I swapped out to this sulky. I want to try it again. We tried it on our MB track on Gazelsberg and it was skating all over. So I want to try it on one of these other tractors and see if the problem is this seeder or the MB track. I think it's the MB track because we see the same kind of crabbing when we put the Lemkin seeder on it. So I think it is the MB track. This is new. This is a 4D modding Abbey slurry spreader. I want to try that out. We don't have any place to get slurry yet. We don't even need this, but I got it. And I got 3 4D modding trailers. I got this little flatbed. I got an animal trailer. Again, we don't need it. We have no animals. And I got a 3-axle grain trailer. We're not going to be harvesting for quite a while. So we've got some money tied up in equipment. I haven't borrowed any money. I've only sold the equipment that came with the map. So, like I said, I'm kind of bouncing off the walls as I do. You know me. We got a little skid steer, and I think that's it. We're going to have to rent a combine harvester in the fall. But I think we would probably do that anyway, and that's if we can even make it to fall. We may have to take out a loan just to make it. So, yeah, I didn't necessarily plan the money real well. We don't need 3 tractors. We don't need an animal trailer. We don't need a slurry spreader, and all that stuff was kind of expensive. But whatever. Let's have some fun. We're playing pretty seriously and pretty realistically on Gazelsberg. Maybe we can loosen up a little bit, loosey-goosey, and have some fun here on Greenwich. So yeah, I've been waiting for this to drop. I knew it would. I saw that it had failed testing a couple times, I think. Yeah, something like that. But I knew they'd get it together. And they did, so very happy about that. And there's a lot of what I think of as UK-style equipment that I like to use. And, you know, I've noticed this about 19. No, they're still on there. The straps sort of come and go on you. Yeah. Gotta be careful with that. Right, so we'll turn that off in the shed so we don't fill it with diesel smoke. And where's our gimme? Is it right here? It certainly is. Right there. And then one more, you know, because if you have the strap next to the strapped, it'll stay strapped. It does not want to let go of that object, whatever it is. Right, so yeah, brought this stuff over from the store. We'll get some lime on the field that we're not subsoiling, and we'll just get this farm started, see what we can do. I'm debating, in fact, I can show you right now. And if I seem scattered, I do apologize. Where are we? We are here. Yeah, we've got grass fields. These are grass. 19 and 18, are they grass right now? They are. So I thought about buying 134, 144. I thought about jacking our loan and buying these 2 grass fields so that we can also have hay and silage going for our cows, right? As we move toward buying the dairy, that we would already have those commodities. It doesn't make any sense because we could certainly buy bales at the store. Get this lined up just right. We could certainly buy bales at the store for a whole lot less than 300,000 euro just for the land, plus the cost of getting that grass mowed and etc. You know what I mean? We don't need to spend 300,000 euro for 20 hay bales and 20 silage bales. No need to do that. But it's a farm simulator, right? You got to do that. So let's we'll set this down here carefully. Right about like so. Beautiful. Get this parked up. Right about like over here so nobody trips over it. Set the brake. Come back over here. These details, man. I don't know how you farm when you farm sim, but I do like, you know, the little details. Right, so now we are going to use our T-dub on the spreader because it's the smallest tractor we've got. It makes the most sense, does it not? I do love the animation on the little jack on the front of the 4D modding trailer. I think that's on all their trailers. I think it is. So come over here, get this hooked up right over here. For some reason, I think I've used this spreader before, and it's got a tremendous throw on it. Let's see if I remember that correctly when we get over to the field. So we'll go over here. Set that like so, and we'll fill this with lime. There we go. So yeah, I think we can open up a little bit on this map. I think we don't have to try to play as realistically. We'll still be somewhat realistic. That's just how we farm. But I don't think we need to really stay as close to the vest as we are on Gazelsberg. So we'll probably take out a loan. I think that will make the most sense. If nothing else, we can take out the loan and get the dairy going. In fact, yeah, that makes a hell of a lot more sense. If we were to borrow 300 or 400,000 euro rather than buying 2 grass fields, I think it would make sense to buy the dairy and some cows and just buy bales and not, you know what I mean? Now, I have to, in fact, I'll do it right now while I'm thinking about it. Do this, we'll go here, and then is it here? Is it here? Economic difficulty, hard. Ooh. And we'll save. We'll go back. So in base game without seasons, the idea of taking out a €1 million loan, and we've talked about this. Oh dear, how'd they do? Not too good. All right, workers on this game, man. I'll tell you what, Denzel, my friend. You want to throw a quick headline in here? How are we doing on time? 13 minutes. Yeah. Let's just do this manually. Let's see if this helps at all. All right. So we'll go over here. Drop this. Cruise control is set. Here we go. So yeah, normally in base game, I would not have an issue taking out a €1 million loan. Wouldn't bother me at all. And we've talked about the fact that depending on how long you're planning on staying on that save game, who cares? You know, you're not even planning on paying it back. You're going to play that save game for 50 hours, 100 hours, whatever, and then you're done. And if you have a €1 million loan when you come out of that save game, when you abandon it, so what? So I don't necessarily want to do that, but at the same time, if we want to expand our farm, we can either go through enough years, seasons, where we've made enough money to do that. I don't know how long it would take. I mean, if we have the profitability that we have on Gazelsberg minus logging, because remember on Gazelsberg we logged and we made €1 million in just a few days of work. I'm not going to log on this map. So if we take that away, the idea of trying to make that money, if we're making 20,000 euro per year profit, it's going to take us 10 years to buy the dairy. which is 240 game days. That's a lot of farming to be able to buy a single piece of property. So I do think there needs to be a little, time compression, in the same way that we don't have to play an actual, 365, oi, turning circle. We don't have to play an actual 365 game days to say that we've gone through a year. I don't know that we necessarily have to wait 10 years to buy the dairy. So we need to figure out a solution to that. We need to figure out an answer. And it could be that we just take out a loan. I mean, it almost has to be, because we've got three choices. We can take out a loan, we can log, or we can wait 10 years. And even waiting 10 years, it's no guarantee. I don't know what kind of profit we're going to make from these two fields, but if we're paying 2 or 3 or 4,000 euro per day in property taxes, as we were on Gazelsberg, it's going to be a minute, right? The 25,000 that we have in the bank right now is not going to last very long at 2 or 3,000 euro per day. So we'll have to take out a loan just to make it through the summer. You see the problems that we begin to have? So I think a loan makes the most sense. Our fix on Gazelsberg was to log. I think our fix on Greenwich Valley is going to be to take out a loan. I think that's reasonable. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. So we'll maybe do that next episode, or maybe a few episodes down the road, perhaps get some crops in the ground, and then we'll think about expanding a little bit. Because once the crops are in the ground, all we really need to do with them is fertilize them if they're not already, and hit them with some herbicide. So we'll have some free time during the summer. We can get over to the other side of the map. We'll take our bale trailer over there, and yeah, I think that makes the most sense. We'll take the bale trailer over with some bales for the cows. We'll buy, I don't know, maybe half a dozen cows, and we'll get the dairy going. Okay, that's the answer then. But let's try to play realistically. I say let's try to play realistically, like there's anybody playing but me, right? Like let's all cooperate on this. No, I will try to play realistically. So if we do take out a loan, let's have a goal of paying it back and not just carrying it to infinity. Yep. Okay. There's your answer. There's your answer. I don't know if this headland is going to be enough room for Denzel here to make his turns. He didn't seem too happy with the end of that last row, but we'll put him on the other side this time, and that gives him a little bit more area to work in. Maybe. I don't know. Regardless, this field will be subsoiled next episode, and possibly the other one as well. There we go. There's your headland, Denzel. All right, so we go right in here. And right in here. Is that about right? Looks about right. Blocked by an object. Are they now? What about over here? No, now they're no longer blocked by an object. I love you, Farm Sim. I love you so much. Okay, what were we doing again? Throwing some lime. I have noticed that the lighting, I don't know how else to say this. Like, looking at this tractor right now, this is a great mod, and obviously it's a great farm. But looking at this tractor right now, it just looks pasted in there. It looks very 2D. I don't think that looks good at all. I feel like, I'm careful when I say this, because, I don't court controversy on my channel. I try to keep it positive. I don't know if Seasons changes the shaders. I got to zoom out because I think this thing does have a crazy wide throw. Yeah, pretty wide. Pretty wide. Oh man, we are just running through those gears. Try to minimize our overlap here, get myself sorted out. There we go, that's better. I don't know if Seasons has its own shaders. I know it does something with the lighting, and I know it does give the lighting sort of a diffuse, kind of flat lighting effect that you get on cloudy days in real life. That's a thing. When you're out on a sunny day, there is a single source of light. The sun, we call it. And it creates very crisp shadows and very sort of hard delineations around edges, and it just, we all know what that looks like. On a cloudy day, the light is just sort of coming from the entire sky, and so shadows are a lot less distinct, and right, you know this stuff. Trying to do that in Farm Sim, I wonder sometimes, because it seems like in Seasons, since Seasons was released, when you're playing a Seasons map, it seems like the lighting is, I don't want to say broken, and I'm not like disparaging anybody or saying that anybody, has done anything wrong. That's not what this channel's about. I'm simply making the observation that the lighting does seem, I don't like it. I can see what they're trying to do, or what I think they're trying to do with that lighting effect, but I don't know if it's quite there yet. I feel like it maybe needs a little bit more work. But the 2D effect that it gives is hard for me to deal with sometimes. Let me go to the other side. So now Gazelsberg, I'm told, has its own shaders. I don't know, man. People say things on the internet. Half the time, I don't even know what they're talking about. I'm told Gazelsberg has its own shaders, and it could be that even though we're running Seasons on Gazelsberg, the shaders in the map overwrite the shaders in Seasons. Is that a thing? Is that even possible? I don't know. But it seems to have a different look. So we'll monitor. We will monitor and adapt. It's not a deal breaker. It's one of those things, And like everything else, when you look back at previous versions of Farm Sim, like 11 or 13, and compare it to 19, I know there are people that are still really very much into Farm Sim 13, and it doesn't bother them, but for me, I can't get past it. And I think, we all play a lot of different games. We all play a lot of different Sims. And when you play something like Forza, as an example, spend time in Forza, or Project Cars 2, it has a really good render. Some of the games that I watch people play online, some of the RPG and shooting games, the graphics are just unbelievable. They're so next level. And then we come back to Farm Sim, and I think of Farm Sim, it's definitely not a graphically driven game, at least not yet. And I do wonder sometimes, like, how are we able to handle this? And it's because the scenario and I don't want to call it the story. There's no real story in Farm Sim, but you know what I mean? The gameplay itself is what we're after, rather than the look and feel. And we do like immersion. We are after that. And it's getting there. But I'm curious what Farm Sim 2029 is going to look like. And if it will be like comparing Farm Sim 19 to Farm Sim 13. If it's going to be the same comparing Farm Sim 2029 to Farm Sim 19. So it is what it is, and I really do love this sim. And it sounds sometimes like I'm putting it down. I'm not. There's room for improvement. There's room for improvement everywhere. There's room for improvement with me. Everything can be improved. So when I say, that this isn't quite what I want it to be or whatever, I'm not. It's not a deal breaker. That's just me thinking out loud. Right, so this is done. Where are we at on time? We're at 24 minutes. We'll go check our JCB, and I think that'll be it for this first episode. Yeah, it's always tricky to start a new farm, because it's like, what do you do? There's so many sort of basic things to do to get a farm ready for the season. I think this is going to be very challenging, even with a loan. I think it's going to be very challenging because we don't have silage to bail us out, right? And you think about what we did on Gazelsberg. Oh yeah, we're running the real dirt mod. Looks good on this side, not so good on that side. That is, I know that's it's just a mod conflict with the real dirt mod, and again, not a deal breaker. As far as I know, nobody knows what to do about it. It's something that people are aware of, just nobody knows how to fix it. Right. What was I saying? Oh yeah, we got silage on Gazelsberg to bail us out. We logged and made €1 million, and now we've got that massive silage operation going. So we're going to make money hand over fist. I feel like without that, at this point, well, we may have moved into arable crops, but without that silage operation, we'd have our sheep, which I think, what did we say they're good for? About €7,000 a year in profit. So if we wanted to buy, sir, Denzel, if we wanted to buy a €210,000 euro, if we wanted to buy a €210,000 dairy with a net profit of €7,000 per year, it would take us 30 years to save enough money to do that. So hopefully we don't run into those problems here. But I think it's going to be challenging with the money set up the way it is. And I think, yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's turn that off. 28 minutes. 26 minutes. Yeah, close enough. Let's make this screenshot right here. There you go, folks. Thanks for stopping back to check out The Portable Gamer. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Farming Simulator 19. This is Greenwich Valley with Seasons. We'll see you next time. Take care now.